Good day, children. Welcome back to your EVS 1 classes online. We are going to continue with the second part of lesson number 3, the Earth and its living world. Let us do a quick revision of what we studied yesterday. The three spheres, lithosphere, hydrosphere, and the atmosphere. We have seen in detail about lithosphere and hydrosphere. Lithosphere consists of hills, hillocks, mountains, islands, etc. Hydrosphere is made up of salty oceans, sea, bay, which is a body of water which is partially surrounded by land. Okay, then there is a creek, which refers to a small river formed by a larger water body. Say, for example, it could be by a ocean. Then there are rivers, lakes, glaciers, and there is groundwater, which we extract with the help of bore wells or normal dug wells. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Today we are going to study about the atmosphere in detail. What is atmosphere? It is the envelope of air around the earth, okay? And it consists of many gases, which are nitrogen, oxygen, water vapor, and carbon dioxide. Okay, this might be new for you, but just try to remember it. Like there are three spheres around the earth, similarly the atmosphere is also divided into five spheres. Okay, starting from the land or the ground, the first sphere is troposphere. Okay, second one is stratosphere, the third one is mesosphere, fourth ionosphere, and the fifth one is exosphere. Try to remember the names as of now. There's a diagram given in your textbook, which is on page number 14. Take a look at the diagram. You can practice drawing the diagram also. It's very easy. You see those white curved lines? Those are marking the start of new spheres, all the five spheres. Also, you see something something like ozone layer in the diagram. We are coming to it. We are coming to explain that in the next slides. So please pay attention. What is a troposphere? Or what are the characteristics of a troposphere? We're going to look about it in detail. We are going to look at it in detail. Okay, troposphere extends to the height of about 13 kilometers from the Earth's surface. So starting from the Earth's surface, it goes up till the height of 13 kilometers. The climatic conditions will keep changing continuously in the troposphere. Mornings are cold, afternoons could be a bit hot, evenings be pleasant. Okay, there are changes during rainy season also. Climatic changes you can see during rainy season also. They affect the living world to a very great extent. Okay, the earth's surface gets heated due to the heat that it receives from the sun, but as we go higher up in the troposphere, it starts becoming cooler. The formation of the clouds, rainfall, winds, storm, everything takes place in the troposphere. Troposphere is close to us. The aeroplanes fly high in this layer. The aeroplanes that you see flying in the sky are all flying in the troposphere. The air is very rare over here, where it's rare high up in the troposphere. Next part, the stratosphere. Beyond the troposphere, up to about 50 kilometers is the stratosphere. Now where troposphere ends, there comes the start of stratosphere. It extends up to 50 kilometers. Okay, the lower part has a layer of gas which is known as the ozone gas. Now during the outbreak of corona, you must have heard news about the ozone healing itself. What was that? Ozone was depleting, or there were holes formed in the ozone layer because of the CFCs or pollutants that come out of the industries, the household ACs, refrigerators, yes, the pollutants that come out of the cars. So all these things were adversely affecting the ozone layer. Getting? But due to the lockdown which happened during the pandemic, all the vehicles on the roads were suddenly into their houses, nothing on the roads. Industries had stopped working. So the pollution level had come down to a great extent, and that is when the ozone had started healing itself. Okay, now why is this ozone layer very important? Ozone layer is important because it prevents the harmful ultraviolet rays that come along with the other rays of the sun to the earth's atmosphere, and they are going to affect the living things in a really bad way. Okay, so to prevent them from entering the earth's atmosphere, ozone layer plays a very important role. So this is about the stratosphere. Now use your brain power. I have two questions for you. In which layer of the atmosphere do we see rainbow? Like I explained, all the weather related or the climate related changes phenomena will take place in the troposphere. Okay? Next, the mountaineers carry oxygen cylinders when they climb the mountains that are more than 5000 meter in height. Why does that happen? What could be the reason? It is because higher in the troposphere the air is very rare. You remember the last point we studied about in troposphere? That is the answer. Okay, now in this chapter, in the next slide, you're going to come across a new term, which is condensation. What is condensation? It is a process of water vapor turning into water on cooling. Let me give you a simple example. During rainy season, most of the households or your mothers are boiling water for you to drink, because many water related diseases or waterborne diseases are going to affect you. So when your mother boils water at home, she covers the boiled water with a lid, and when you go to pick the lid or you remove the lid, you see a few tiny water droplets on the lid that glide and fall down. What is that? That is the water vapor that has become cold and converted into water droplets. That is nothing but condensation. So a similar process happens in the atmosphere. What is the process and where is it applicable? We are going to study in detail in the next slide. For now, you just need to remember this new word and write it down in your notebook, everyone. Okay? How does it rain? It's rainy season. Do we all know the mechanism of rainfall? Some may know, some may not know. So let us just study about it. It is simple. The water evaporates due to the heat of the sun. What is the meaning of evaporation? Means the water is getting dried up. Okay? Percolated water also evaporates. What is percolated water? You see water bodies around you. From the seas and the ocean, the water evaporates or dries up. Apart from that, the water which has gone down in the land, which has seeped through the ground, also starts percolating. Simple example, you water the plants in your garden. Okay, say for example in the evening at around 4 o'clock. Next morning you get up, or next evening you see the water is all dried up. Why is that so? Because the water percolates due to heat and the plant is also using up some water. So water vapor, which is lighter than the air, it rises up in the atmosphere. It cools and condenses, forming fine droplets of water. Like I explained what is the condensation process. So the same thing happens over here. Now when these small droplets are high up in the air, they start floating. Okay, and they form clouds. They join together and form big heavy droplets. Heavy droplets cannot float for a very long period of time, or they cannot float at all, and hence they come down as rainfall. So three things you need to remember to know what is rainfall is the process of evaporation, the drying up of water, then there is condensation, the cooling of the water vapor and forming of tiny water droplets. Then there is rainfall, because when the water droplets become heavy after they get collected together, they cannot float in the air anymore, and that's why they come down. This is a continuous cycle, and this cycle is known as the water cycle. That is how you get rainfall every year. Okay, I hope the process is clear to everyone. This is a simple diagram. The arrow at the base, which is pointing out towards the right side, shows the evaporation. The second arrow which goes up shows the formation of water vapor. Next one shows the formation of the clouds. The droplets become heavy and they come down to the sea as rainfall. So this is a simple process shown by the means of the diagram and the arrows. It's also given on page number 15 of your textbook. You can refer to the same. Now we come to the last part of this chapter, which is the biosphere. What is a biosphere? It consists of many kinds of living organisms that are present in different regions. We have seen all different regions now already. Now depending upon the climate, some are hot, some are cold. Yes, some will have ice falling throughout. Some areas it's very hot. Some areas there are mountains, some areas is plain land. In some places there is heavy rainfall, some areas are dry deserts. They have no rainfall at all. Yes, so all these different places, regions, the water bodies, the land, the air, all of these are going to have different kind of living things or animals or plants. Okay. Now for example, a polar bear, then pine trees, trees which have slanting leaves, they are all found in snowbound polar regions. Okay. Next, a zebra and a cactus could be found more in Africa. Next, an elephant and a lion is found in regions of hot climate, and a kangaroo is found in Australia. So depending upon the weather conditions in different areas, you see different kind of animals and plants in that area. This solely depends upon the climate of that region. All the animals, plants and microorganisms are dependent on one another and the spheres. Biosphere is where the microorganisms or the living things take birth, they live and they die. What we have learned, I have put up a picture for you to note down in your notebook. You can also check it in your textbook and write it down. Okay, with this we are done with the lesson. We have studied about lithosphere, hydrosphere, atmosphere, the living things in different regions. We have studied how rainfall happens. Okay, I hope everything is clear to you all. In case of any queries, you can get in touch or you can replay the video again. Okay, the answers to the questions will be forwarded to on your group, so you can note down the question and answers. Thank you.